Hey everybody, just got to invite Bobby and then we'll be all ready to go. Just 1 second. One sec, guys. Pardon me. And then we'll do. Just want to text him real quick. All right, so we have a nice two very manageable slates here, both in baseball and in basketball, and I'm pretty straightforward with what I'm doing in baseball. I watching a couple of other podcasts and threatening to get poisoned a little bit, but I decided to avoid the poison. There he is.
What's up?
So I was watching some other stuff and listening to other stuff, and I'm just not going to get poisoned. I'm going to stick to what I was going to do with respect to baseball. Just using those three pitchers, Buehler, Pivetta, and Sanchez. I'm probably going to play three main builds, one with Pivetta, Buehler, one with Buehler, Sanchez, and one with Pivetta, Sanchez, and just kind of do that. Then on FanDuel, I'm just going to do. I think I'm just going to do Buehler.
That's what I'm doing right now, mostly. I do have one Sanchez on FanDuel.
Okay.
But I also think that just looking at it further about getting leverage, I sort of am in with the idea of playing both the Giants and Seattle as stacks. And
yeah,
they're not my favorite, but they are my favorite lower owned of the stacks.
So that's my plan. My plan is in the remember, because each of those on DraftKings, each of those pitchers are going to be in 2/3 of the lineups, right? So in the lineups where I don't have Pivetta, I'm going to use Seattle. In the lineups where I don't have Sanchez, I'm going to use Miami, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't. And in the lineups where I don't have Buehler, I'm not going to stack the Padres. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to probably make sure to get the one-offs, some one-offs out of there.
Makes sense. I also still like the Dodgers. The weather sucks here. It's not like the ball still could carry. It's not like that. It's not like that kind of, we have the fog layer thing. So I do like the Dodgers as a lower owned version of the stack. And people might say, oh, that's not going to be low owned on FanDuel. But on FanDuel, I'm going to do it with Will Smith and AJ Pollock, who are going to be low owned.
Do we have any idea about the and when I was saying about none of those are my main. Still my favorite stack is still the Mets.
Mine is still the Cubs.
Okay.
Do you like the Red Sox a little bit? But now I switched it over to the Cubs. I don't like the Red Sox lineup as much as I do the Cubs. Now there's obviously I like players in there. I have two Red Sox in most of my lineups, but I don't have them stacked as much. I have more of the Cubs and Mets.
What do you think? What do you think their lineup's going to look like with the Dodgers? Any idea at all? Or
I mean, it's one of those things where in this series, I would imagine you're seeing that it's a big deal to the people in Southern California. This series, just so you know, And, I'm going to the game tonight, and I heard about a bunch of my other friends were going. I don't even know how they don't sell that many tickets, but the Padre fans are a big part of it. And I think that the Dodgers do put their best foot forward, but you still probably do get Noose in there. It's probably the way it's projected, to be honest, throughout most places. And I wouldn't be surprised if one thing was different and maybe we saw Rios or one of those guys in there. But for the most part, I think it'll go like this. And I think it's it's not the ideal situation, but it's not also the worst situation, especially on a 5-game slate where they're going to be owned like this. It's really hard not to have some interest, but you could make a similar argument for both the Angels and Astros, who the Astros will be owned, but guys like Brantley and Tucker probably won't be very high owned. So that's just something else to consider.
I don't think I've seen Correa hit first ever.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what that means to the average man, but
Cobb is extremely combustible, and this is a team. It's weird. Like maybe it is a little bit early fatigue from Houston, but not to mention there's a lot of good teams worth stacking tonight. Like, and I just fell a little bit in love with the Cubs stack, but I mean, there's no reason why every one of these stacks doesn't have like a good argument to be made, pretty much. Potentially, with the exception of San Diego, but even that, they're just good enough hitters where I think even that's viable. And it's a weird thing because I was realizing if it was a giant slate with two, like let's say DeGrom and Scherzer were on the slate, and it was a giant slate, Seattle would be my favorite stack on the slate, no question.
okay.
There's the most ups. Pivetta, as good as he can be, can also be bad. I know it sounds really basic, but it's true.
Right.
And when he goes off, it goes way off the rails. I don't believe necessarily in the Boston bullpen. We'll see how it goes throughout the season, but I really think that with their pricing, but I'm just like, what that pricing isn't really getting you anything. So do it just to be contrarian. I'm okay to do it in certain spots, but I want some upside. So like Evan White, Mitch Haniger is a great play no matter what. Kyle Lewis and Corey Seager would be my favorites, but Ty France right there. All of these guys, Taylor Trammell, they're going to be low owned and they're so cheap. It makes you can stack them with the Red Sox and do anything except for you just can't play Pivetta as a pitcher, obviously.
Right.
I mean, if this was a 3-game slate, I wouldn't mind like if you were really stuck for pitching, like and you only had 2 legitimate guys who would go more than 5 innings. I would play a couple bats against maybe even 3, like against the pitcher, but you're obviously not doing it on a 5-game slate. There's lots of good offenses to go with today. I really do think the Cubs, while they may not project the best, I think the home run upside and the pricing with the power upside versus the pricing, it's too easy for me to want to just attack that. I know it's going to be somewhat owned, but I don't think it'll be as high owned as maybe other people think. And I think a little bit less of the Mets maybe than others do, but I do especially like Alonso, Nimmo, and Lindor and Conforto. I mean, it's weird. I'm just trying to get away from.
I think Nimmo is out. I think.
Oh yeah, Nimmo's out. My bad. Sorry about that. That was. Yeah, and by the way, I like to have a little bit less now that you've got what's his name leading off. And I just say it all the time, even though it's a great hitting condition. As bad as we all like to pretend and say that Trevor Williams has been in the past, the truth is somewhere in the middle. He's not quite as bad as people think. Even when he gets rocked, he doesn't give up. Even this year, he got hit a couple times and he hasn't given up a home run yet. Not saying that he never will or never does. I'm just saying that I'll take the
right.
Personally, even all things being considered. Yeah, I think the Cubs are heating up too. And this is good. No, the Cubs are not chasing Eric. You don't worry about that on the slate. I mean, sure they scored runs last night, but like it's a good stack. It's just the question is it the best stack? And the power upside with the pricing, it makes it hard for me to resist. The Mets haven't been hitting that good, but don't let those things cloud too much of your judgment, especially when the lineups shake up and things like that. Neither is Houston and Correa leading off now. Like you said, Cheats, you don't know what that means exactly. I kind of like that for teams when they shuffle up the lineup, especially good teams that are doing it. So that actually, if I was playing a ton of lineups and not going to the game and it's going to be able to stick by my computer in case anybody gets scratched or anything, I would if I was playing a bunch of lineups, I would definitely get some more Astros.
Who do you like? I'm on the one-off list now. Who do you like in the outfield?
Great call by Jamie. Upton is still sort of going to your question. Upton is still a great one-off. Do you like any other Angels for stacks? I really like that question, that comment, that thoughts.
What happened?
I have been losing. I'm on a losing streak. We got that weird dude back in Treat and
I'm busy.
I was in the Roto Grinders chat with some guys. I'm friends with all those guys, so it's like, and then this guy just
the guy that wants to know where the checks are. That guy. Yeah,
and then he tried to convince me that I was working for Roto Grinders again over there. It's hilarious. Thanks for encouraging that one, Sheets.
No problem.
All right. So, guys, back to baseball questions, and we'll get to basketball. I actually liked. It's funny because it's not that I like to say that I love tonight's slate, but I feel like there's a few ways you can get different in the NBA that maybe people aren't looking at. We'll get to a little teaser there. So, all right. So let's talk more baseball, though. What are we doing?
Wendell Carter Jr. is out.
Figured that was going to happen. We'll get to that.
Yep. Well, I just figured out before I forget.
Mobamba time, I guess.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's my natural thought. Thank you, Eric. Good question. So I will tell you exactly what I'm doing, not just who my favorite pitchers are. Sheets, maybe you can help on the same. I have Cobb in a couple of hedge things, but for the most part, it's all going to be Buehler, Pivetta, and Sanchez. And I have it ranked like that. But because of the way I'm divvying up my ownership, and because to get certain bats on DraftKings, it was easier for me to pay down, including some contrarian bets. Pivetta and Sanchez I use as a pairing more often, and I use Buehler more on FanDuel.
What was his question?
Who are the top DK pitchers?
My top DK pitchers are Buehler and Sanchez
and
Pivetta, and I'm going to be mixing them exactly equally. All of those.
Yeah, I think that Pivetta is the one I would consider the most on a real slate, which gives me enough of a reason. He's my highest owned. I guess I'll say that. But I just made a whole argument for the Seattle stack. I don't have a lineup on DraftKings that isn't playing at least two Seattle players. It doesn't. All of my lineups without Pivetta, everyone has got at least a couple Seattle players. And that's actually why I didn't play Pivetta, because I just wanted to play some Seattle. I really think that lineup is getting way overlooked, and maybe it'll change because I can tell that anybody with half a brain can figure this out. I was talking with another friend of mine earlier today about this, and I don't know. It feels like it's an obvious, what do you call it, hedge spot or whatever? Not hedge, even just what's the word I'm looking for? Sheets, where you go. We had
pivot.
Well, yeah, but when you play the opposite against the chalk, I don't know why my brain's not
pivot.
Yeah, but it's not exactly pivot. It's something else. But that's all right. The Dodgers have their lineups out. Betts, Seager, Turner, Smith, Muncy, Taylor, Pollock, McKinstry, Buehler. So everything's exactly like we thought, except for McKinstry's in instead of Noose, which isn't important to me because I wasn't playing either of them tonight. There just wasn't any reason, in my opinion, to play either of them. And I would say that as much as I love AJ Pollock, and I just think he's off to a slow start, I am significantly worried about his ability to move, which is probably important for a professional athlete. He doesn't. His fielding has gotten to the point. I mean, this guy was like the best fielder in baseball, or one of the 5 best in baseball, like 5 years ago, and he can't play the outfield. I mean, he's just all the time. He just doesn't look right moving. I hope that he gets over it. I hope it's overreacted by us Dodger fans, but it worries me about him a little bit. But I am playing him still some. I still believe in his bat, and I want to get some lower owned Dodgers, and he's one of them. So.
And so, what did you say? Your main goal on FanDuel was?
My main goal on FanDuel is to. Did I say a main goal on FanDuel? I don't know.
I'm just wondering where you're going on FanDuel.
I have more Dodgers on FanDuel than I do on DraftKings, but I think the field will too, because the pricing is a little bit silly. Bets will be popular on both, but what I'm doing, my sort of strategy, I guess, third base and shortstop both seem pretty strong to me. I think that using your double shortstopping and double third basing, probably double shortstop for a little better leverage, maybe, unless you're playing like Kyle Seager and Devers or something. I think that's the way that I'm going to end up going, just because it'll be a little bit lower owned. Of the combos, you've got Lindor, Baez, and Seager who really stand out. Not to mention that if you're not playing Buehler, that Tatis is a great leverage. There's the word play.
Oh, right. Duh.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. But yeah, so it's but I feel like it's a pretty clear cut slate, and there, you do a few things to be different. I don't mind if you want to leave like 800 on the table, 1,000 on the table tonight. There's no real reason to get into too many sticky spots on FanDuel. You can pay down and get sort of the same type of things. Like Mike Trout's going to be crazy owned, but that's because everybody can afford it. So just remember, if everyone can, if you can, everyone can, and then try to make a little different things, which includes maybe leaving money on the table. Like Ian Happ is barely he's barely a worse play than any of the guys who cost $2,000 more than he does, and if worse at all. And
So who do we got it for? So Will Smith is in.
Will Smith's in, and that's the other thing I'm doing. So on FanDuel, I'm playing Will Smith and Pollock because Will Smith is going to be very low owned. He should be very low on FanDuel because he's a first base eligible player, and people don't play catchers. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I like him as part of a mini stack or a stack. But I like him in general.
Who's is Chris Taylor in?
Chris Taylor's in. He's batting sixth.
He's second base.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the outfield is the strongest position, both for one-offs and for whatevers, and for stack player pieces, whatever. Eric, I have no interest in the San Diego stack. I heard some Grant talking about. It's just there's other low-owned enough stacks that you don't need to get that creative. The only reason why it's interesting is because they're a talented stack that will be unowned. So they've got talented hitters that will be unowned. But the Dodgers are not like going to be so crazy high owned where it's just you're not getting that much of a difference. Or Seattle or the Giants, who I like better. I would use everybody else. Rizzo, I would probably – good question, Ken Jones. He says, would you use Rizzo in as a one-off or just in a Chicago stack? I think I would probably mostly use him just in a Chicago stack. Maybe if I had if it was a 2 or 3 man even, I would justify that. But I do like Rizzo as a part of a stack especially. First of all, he does always – his walks, I mean, well, it's not great or whatever. The guy, they're going to be in a great position to hit, and people get afraid of the lefty with Rizzo, and he'll be he should be lower owned than he would be. In my opinion, he will be lower owned than he should be. So I like him better as a stack play though.
Right.
Yeah. If I stack the Dodgers on DK, then my other 3 guys are Duffy, Guillaume, Marisnik. I wouldn't say you have to go with those exact 3 guys. I think that there's different options. I do like Duffy. I like Guillaume. I actually am playing Bodie ahead of Guillaume on DraftKings, which I don't know if that's like a real hot takey thing to say, but that is I have one big lineup, like one, in multiple big ones that have Guillaume. I'm sorry, have my second baseman as Bodie, not Guillaume. And I think Guillaume, sorry, I should say, is probably going to end up being higher owned by a significant amount, regardless of what projections currently say.
Who? Guillaume?
Guillaume will be higher owned than Bodie.
I think that's clear.
Yeah, I just don't think any projection systems have factored in that Noose is out yet, and he was going to get ownership on DK.
Oh, okay.
So I bet it's going to shift to Guillaume, which makes me love Bodie even more. Bodie's going to be – I mean, that's a way you get different in your Chicago stacks, you know what I mean? Maybe on DraftKings you fade Happ and play Guillaume. Combo it, play Conforto and Bodie. I mean, Conforto's obviously going to be owned, but I'm just trying to find like the actual combinations. Keep Conforto and him versus Happ and Guillaume, which, I mean, again, you're still going to get pretty – low enough ownership. I don't understand why this to me, I feel like the Cubs should be higher owned than they are tonight. I'm just going to stick with my thoughts and play mostly Cubs, Red Sox, Dodgers, and Mariners.
That's where I'm at. I'm not as much into the Cubs as you are, but especially on FanDuel, I'm getting. You playing Seattle on FanDuel also?
I think that they're much easier to play on FanDuel, which will make them less like they'll still be have some ownership. They won't be like popular, but they'll have enough ownership. I want to see what Jason Williams says here. Like people acting like Buehler isn't an ace, but hasn't seen anywhere close to his upside. Absolutely, Buehler. Like the weirdest thing about Buehler is you could make a really good argument for him at like 11-5 on this slate, especially on FanDuel. Like you just can get everything else you want to. Right, Sheets, especially on FanDuel.
Who, Buehler? Yeah, it's been like that, you know.
Mm-hmm. Guillerme. Okay, thank you, Bong Fiesta. I guess I'm pronouncing the name wrong, which I figured I was doing anyway. Any Lucchese love on DK? Is he on a pitch limit? A pitch count, I'm guessing that means. I don't think he'll throw a ton of pitches. I wouldn't consider him in a million years, no matter what. Here, okay. I don't care if he gets there. It means nothing to me. I just can't do it. Well, let me think. I mean, if I'm too into the Cubs, like I get people are going to do some of it because he's shown good stuff at times in the past. He's thrown 2 and 3 innings in his first 2 outings. There's no way in the world I'm going to do it.
Let's do this. Let's see.
So Jason Williams, who are your pitchers if you don't want to play Pivetta? So you're just going to play Sanchez and Buehler are your only pitchers, Jason Williams? My favorite Mariners from Travis. My favorite Mariners are White, Seager, Haniger. Haniger's the best. White, Seager, Haniger, or Lewis. Haniger's the best. Will be the highest owned. Yeah, those are my favorites. Trammell maybe next. No, France then Trammell. All right, Jason Williams, still waiting on your idea. Buehler, other than Buehler.
Oh, you mean on DraftKings?
We got Buehler. So who else are you pitching?
You got to
Who's your other pitcher? We all know about Buehler. Come on, man, give us some. By the way, in the meantime, guys, please give us the like and everything like that. We appreciate it. We really do.
Yeah, just I did this without asking, but if you're on the YouTube channel, for example, make sure that you subscribe there. I'm getting a little I'm getting kind of like number OCD-ish. I think that we have 986 subscribers or something like that. Mm-hmm. So if you guys are not already on there, just go ahead and just click, just snap it, whatever.
So
otherwise, I'm gonna have to set up 15 new email addresses and enjoy myself.
So Jason Williams doesn't like anybody else.
I don't blame you, man. It's a tough slate.
None of us are saying we love anybody else. What are you going to do? You have to play 2 pitchers.
Well, I'll throw an idea in there just to justify not playing Sanchez or Pivetta. Like if you don't like any of the pitchers, I mean, why play a guy that's 40? Why play a SP who's going to be 40% owned?
There you go.
I mean, I'm doing it anyway. But
Cobb is still going to have some ownership too. That's the weirdest part. The other guys will be owned too. I don't know what you're referring to with the winds blowing in Boston earlier. They've been blowing significantly out all day. It's just cold there.
Was that right?
Yeah. They're like 20 miles an hour blowing out to right center. All right. So I think that's pretty much it for baseball for me. I literally don't think I have another decision to make, and I can't see anything happening that's going to affect my decisions without somebody being scratched.
All right. Just give me 1 sec. I'll be ready for basketball.
Okay. Give me 1 second as well. Sorry. I've got my friend. I'm going to the Dodger game, as you guys know. So I've got some things I've got to get this over with.
I wonder what's the protocols there regarding,
I honestly haven't checked it out yet, so I'm sort of going to find out with everybody.
Oh, okay. Do you know what the capacity is or anything like that, or? Main slate. We're gonna run basketball in just a sec. I'm almost ready with actually, because it's just a couple of decisions. A couple of bits of news that I'm waiting on, and then obviously the news that I don't know that I'm waiting on. Let me just finish this.
All right.
Whose tickets are they?
My friend got them.
Nice.
Oh, great time for DraftKings to stop working on this channel. Come on.
What happened?
It's just the DraftKings thing is freezing up again, which kind of freaks me out because it means I might have to be building lineups on my phone again for basketball. All right, so no more baseball. That's good, Jason. Sorry.
What's he got?
He says he only likes to play one pitcher in general. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So play on. That's good. Okay, play on.
Good to me.
I in general like to play. I actually enjoy the variance of playing 2 pitchers. So okay, so let's go to basketball.
All right, let's look at first of all, the news that I'm waiting on still is there was one bit of news I was waiting on. I forget what it was now. I'm not sure. So Dario Saric, is he playing?
He's in.
He is in. Okay. So the first thing is that you were right in that Killian Hayes and Isaiah Stewart have become really good plays. Let's start with DraftKings. But who's a better play, Bobby? Isaiah Stewart or Mo Bamba or Daniel Tice?
I mean, you're springing a tough one on me for a guy who just got announced, who just announced out here. So let's start with something else, especially when my projections won't load. So let's go to something completely different than that. Let's talk about obvious guys we are playing, because there's no way I can do that without a projection system. I've got to reload some things here. This is really frustrating. I hate this. I hate what's going on with Chrome. It's driving me nuts, man. It's literally driven me crazy over this last period. And then
how do we start with Joel?
You try to use Safari and it says, sorry, try this on Chrome because it works better, and it doesn't work. Anyway, it's frustrating. So let me get to there.
How about we start with Joel Embiid? How about that?
Okay, we can start with Embiid. It's the back-to-back. You know, you do have Harris in tonight. Weirdly, I kind of like Harris. I'm not going to end up doing it, I don't think, but I really have a feeling he has a good game here. I think you start with there's conversations of building both ways. What? I mean, I'm totally baffled now. I can't get online on my Safari channel. What is going on here, guys? This is really nuts. Can you guys hear me? Sheets, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't understand how the rest of my internet just doesn't seem to work at all right now.
No, I could totally hear you.
That's really frustrating. Can't log on to any site, do anything.
But the question about Embiid also is a derivative of the question of Isaiah Stewart and Daniel Tice and all them, because that's a center spot.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you could play Giannis, for example, at power forward.
Exactly, or Luka at small forward too, or both. Or you could skip it and pay a lot in the mid tier, like you mentioned the other guys from Detroit. But Josh Jackson gets a major boost here. I'm playing Josh Jackson over PJ Washington right now, which I feel very mixed about. But I really just think that there's enough opportunity there. The problem is Detroit doesn't have any time they could just completely flip the lineup and it wouldn't surprise me. But I guess we'll see. I'm really shocked that I can't get online and get to my projections, which is pretty frustrating.
What are you able to do, just to get to any website? Is that what's happening?
I can't click on anything. I'm afraid to even click back into this screen to see what the chat says, because I can't see anything without it change. Every time I click on something,
you got issues over there.
I got pinwheels. It's been crazy, but it's not internet issues. It's in general. It's mostly been Chrome issues. I haven't had this happen on Safari yet. I mean, I'm just baffled by this. I cannot get to anywhere. Let's try speedtest.net. Anyway, to me, the guys I'm spending up for currently are Embiid and Luka, but I'm thinking about switching it to the two that we talked about, to Giannis and Luka. But I also think that there's something to be said for potentially playing, because you want to play some of these mid-tier 50-odd hundred guys, right? Cam Johnson is not a slam dunk play, even though he stands out as being great value. You know what I mean? But you've got 5,500 guys that could just crush. So, you know, PJ Washington, Josh Jackson, those would be the biggest two. Isaiah Stewart, obviously.
Are we still playing Isaiah Stewart at that price?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You don't even think about, I don't think about the price when it comes to him. Like, if he doesn't smash, he's probably getting, I mean, I guess I do, but his upside is 50, 60, and he's 5,800. You don't have to play him, but I would have him ahead of all the other guys you talked about in terms of priorities.
Well, you're now able to get that Giannis Embiid thing that we talked about.
Yeah.
If you want it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to have to do this on my phone and really off the cuff. So what are you showing up with?
What do you think? I'll ask you some other questions. What do you think of the But
If I can't see my thing, it would really help me if I could ask you what the projections are.
yeah, go for it. What do you need?
Yeah. So what projections are you getting on Bamba?
So I'm getting, depending on where you go, I mean, like maybe like 25 fantasy points, 26 fantasy points.
In minutes, you don't have it. Just
I don't.
Yeah. All right, no, I appreciate that. Let me just see real quick. Jalen Noel was not going to play today. I do think that Bamba is the guy you play. I think you play him, and I guess that I might have to mix with my centers now.
I'm telling you, I am of the belief that that Bamba is a better play than Stewart. How about that?
I think they're both good. I think they're both. That's what you should start with. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most people would tell you that Bamba is a better play than Stewart. I will tell you there's about 500 more variables that we've seen Stewart in these times. So here are his last games in this situation. He put up 50 and 50. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. He put up 41 against Washington in a blowout. But didn't Plumlee even play in that game? I think he did. He only played 24 minutes. He put 41 in that time. His point per minutes are absurd. If you see him looking like he's going to get 1 point per minute, you can just tack on an extra 0.25. He's going to get more than that. He's not going to play 30 minutes and get 30 fantasy points. I mean, based on everything that he's done all year long for the most part. Every now and then he'll have a weird game where he'll play 26 and have 24 fantasy points or something. But mostly if he's playing in the 30-minute range, he's putting up 40s and 50s. That's where I would start.
Do those does Josh Jackson do stuff still, or yeah, I guess he does.
He's not like a must play, but he was a guy who I'm using as an example. I like Cam Johnson a little bit less than I did, even though obviously good value if you need to get there. But do we need to get there is even the question. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I mean, if you want to play, if you want to play Embiid and Giannis, or like two studs in general, right?
I have two studs without any of, and I still have more room to. I have Giannis. Oh no, so hold on, I don't have Giannis there. Yeah, I guess if you want to, that's the question is, do you want to try and play the more middling-ish build with Washington, with Jackson, with Kobe White, with Luka, with Isaiah Stewart? You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that it's extremely viable to do that.
You still like? Oh, we were talking about PJ Washington before. Okay.
But yeah, I do like PJ Washington. Stewart, Bamba. This is so frustrating. I might have to get out of here. I was going to have to get out of here a little bit early today anyway. Can we see any other last questions in chat? Because I would love to get a PC. John, that's fair enough. You know what I mean? This Mac thing is not working out for me. But honestly, I don't think that it's all a computer issue because I've seen it as a general issue for other people too. Can you hear me?
What I was going to ask you, Bobby, everybody can hear you fine. What I was going to ask you, Bobby.
The chat is disconnected for me, so that's why I'm asking. Sorry. Go ahead, Shane.
I don't know. You hear me?
Yeah, hit me with what you were going to say.
I was going to ask, do you have any opinion on the Chicago guards between Temple and Denzel Valentine?
I would lean Valentine because Temple because of the safety of minutes, and I think I'm just not going to make the same mistake I've been making, which hasn't necessarily been always wrong to pay up for three guys, but there's so much you can gain by playing some of these middling guys. I wish I liked some of the other ones more because it's like the low mid tier, like Kobe White, Washington, and Jackson I mentioned. Who do you have? Is there anybody in the mid tier that you're sort of entertaining? Because I just don't see people wanting to build like this.
No, just mid tier being what? Like how much?
Like anything in anything 5K to
Kobe White.
That's what. Yeah. Okay. So that we have one.
PJ Washington. DeAndre Ayton. I'm not playing him. Cole Anthony, 6,400.
Yeah.
That's really all I'm getting.
I think
you can play Okiki, 5,700. It feels a little dirty though.
No, with what's his name out, maybe that's not the worst play. Do you have an update on the Orlando? Does anybody stand out for Orlando for you?
Yeah, that was just it was just Bamba. And then Okiki, and Anthony, but like none of them were like that great.
What about Najee Marshall? I know this sounds great, but James Johnson is out. Najee Marshall has played, 33 minutes plus in 3 of the last 4 and put up 34, 45, and 38. He's 5,400, and no one's talking about him. At least not. I don't have any projection zone for him. Do you?
For who?
What is your projection?
No.
Is it like even fantasy wise? It's got to be decent.
What team is he on again?
He's on New Orleans.
No, he's not a search. No, I mean, he's not really showing up as a big deal for me, especially on DraftKings, 5,400.
Like, can you give me a rough projection of what you got him at?
Yeah. I have him with about 25 fantasy points.
How about Okiki?
Sorry.
On the other side of that game.
Yeah, then Okiki about the same, about 26 fantasy points.
Okiki should probably jump up a little bit soon. But I like sort of playing all these guys. The problem is I can't find another guy to spend middling on. There's no 7,500 guy that I can use. Maybe Isaiah Stewart is the wrong idea. No, it's not. I got to stick to it, please. Cam Johnson is officially starting. That part I did get in.
Is that good?
Probably not. He's going to be really high owned. I'll just tell you guys that. Whatever. To do with it what you will. It's not a play that I typically make.
I mean, I would rather play Bridges at 4,800, I think.
Oh, I thought you meant the other Bridges.
Korkmaz is out.
Oh my God. It's really helped to have a projection system right now. All right, guys, I might have to run because I might have to do my thing. I will be in Discord. I just have to restart my computer because this is nonsense, and I had to leave anyway, but I'll be in Discord. I have to leave in probably 15 minutes, but.
Let me see any questions that I see here. My sneaky bad of the day is Evan White for 626. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, wait, I'm getting some life here.
Get a PC thoughts on Shuma. George Hill will start.
On the back-to-back too, but he didn't play much.
Well, you know the ultimate Bobby Troll tonight.
What's that?
It's going to be Shake Milton.
It's going to happen to me, isn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's going to happen.
Only if you don't play him.
Look, they're not even starting him too. Oh wait, how are they starting Curry?
I don't know that. No Buster Posey. Someone's saying everybody's going into the baseball tonight, which is probably the right idea.
Oh boy. So you can guess the value game, or maybe we can play and skip the value. I'm trying to figure out.
So this was my. Man, I really hope I can keep this on FanDuel because I had a freaking incredible galaxy brain idea on FanDuel. I was going to I was going to play Walker and Tatum and Tristan Thompson and play a ridiculously overpriced Devin Booker and just roll.
I like it.
But it had other stuff in it, so let me just see what FanDuel looks like now. Hold on. And with Giannis, by the way.
It's so hard to trust these Orlando minutes. Does Robert Frank get you to anything?
Who?
Robert Franks. He's got to be showing up on your projection thing.
I have no idea who that is and what sport you're talking about even.
It's basketball. Check out Robert Franks. See what your projection is on it.
I don't have him, I don't think. What team is he on?
Orlando.
Robert Franks. Maybe I need to update it because I oh, there he is. Yeah, I got him with 14 fantasy points. Someone else can play him, but enjoy.
He might be higher owned than you. He might be like that. He might be
good. It's fine.
He might be like the best value.
Can't get involved with that. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to play Tatum, but I think I am going to play Walker. Maybe I'm supposed to play Tatum though. Crap. That fades like all these incredible values.
Tatum.
Well, it fades Stewart.
But what? Yeah. So what are you paying up
I'm
for?
on FanDuel, I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
But Tatum's not exactly. He's not even low owned.
No, I wouldn't imagine.
So Stewart replaced him. Then I don't know what to play. But I want to play Tristan Thompson. Maybe keep everything just like this. Oh, is there a good shooting guard that emerged? That would be really, really nice.
Wouldn't it be?
On FanDuel. Let me see.
I can't even fill it out on DraftKings. I'm just kidding. I've got guys I can fill it out with, but
Oh, that almost works. That literally almost works. Because right now, my shooting guard is Dwayne Bacon with 38 for 3,800, and I have 800 on the table, so I have room. But everybody stinks.
it's awful.
Well, let's see if we can't finagle. So let's get up to Josh Jackson. Oh, and then point guard. Wait a minute. Point guard. Oh, thank God I don't have to. I was going to have to consider playing Derek White.
I might be playing Tobias Harris. I'm nuts. I really have lost my mind here. Oh my God, you can't even play what's his name of shooting guard. That's hilarious. I can't even do it. Because Bridges is not shooting guard. I tried to change my whole thing. Boy, this is a rough one, man.
How about small forward on FanDuel? There's that you can play your Najee.
Maybe I can just play him on DraftKings anyway and just say F it. That actually gets me to where I need to be.
Is there any way? I really hope that Zion is not exactly 9,400. He is 90. Yes, he's 9,800. Good. I don't have to play him. Okay.
So when Tobias Harris gets 50 tonight and I win a tournament with him, I'm gonna be, and Najee Marshall. Those are my big off the board plays here. Is anybody gonna play Tobias Harris?
Is anybody going to play Tobias Harris?
I think that could be pretty owned.
I don't think so.
I think he's got some pretty good projections here, but nobody's going to play Najee Marshall. And I think that this is actually a much better play than people are going to give this credit for. You've got a good matchup for a guy who's been over 34 every time in this spot, basically, except for one. And you can play him with Josh Jackson. We're going to skip my other guy who's going to hurt, PJ Washington. But boy, I'm telling you what, if anybody else has this build, good luck to them, because it is a weird build.
I got 1,000 left on the table here. And so I can move up to him. My two small forwards are Keldon Johnson and Najee Marshall right now.
So what is Marshall's price on FanDuel?
4,800.
Oh, so it's not a big deal to play on DraftKings. Oh, DeJounte Murray and Patty Mills are out.
So as I was saying, Derek White.
Well, as I was going to say before this whole freaking thing, I kept ending up with what's his name as a play, and now can I get back to it? Because I kept ending up with DeRozan.
Yep.
His price. But it's going to be hard to play a Derek White for me.
On FanDuel even?
What's he at on FanDuel? I haven't looked at that.
79.
Derek White is 7,900.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant DeRozan. No, Derek White's 5,500.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. But I think on DraftKings there's too many point guard spots that I'm trying to lock up here.
Why am I wonder what Chris Paul's price is. He's 83.
Patty Mills also. I really like DeRozan then, and that allows you to do the stack of that whole game pretty nicely. Stewart, Jackson, Hayes.
Tatum.
Who else are we missing from them? Let's see.
Booker.
San Antonio is always tough when they sit players, though, because it's other than the guys who play getting usage, it sometimes doesn't end up so good.
No, you're right.
The fact that those two guys were showing up as pretty good plays already is good. Should mean like, wow, everybody else is weirdly priced though. Rudy Gay will probably have a good game, but I'm not going to play him.
I'm not going to play that.
But I will play DeMar DeRozan. And I think you're right about White too. I think that DeMar DeRozan is pretty awesome.
White, DeRozan.
How about paying for zero spend-ups today, Sheets? What would that get you?
Yeah, that's where I'm going. That's where I'm looking at right now on FanDuel, actually. Oh, there's no way this can work. Oh, that would be so obscene if I played him. No, I can't do that. I could play Mo Bamba. Chaos right happening. DeJounte Murray and Patty Mills have been okay.
What if you just paid up for Zion and just took the 50 and ran? That's where I keep ending right the hell up. Like that's right where I am every time.
Yeah.
Boy, that's frustrating.
Small forward on FanDuel. Keldon Johnson. And I'm back to Najee Marshall again. And then we have this left over. So then at center, then we still play that. Oh, then we probably just do this. That's the idea. Kemba. 100. All right, let's do that. So roll 4 of those. And then what we're going to do is recheck my DraftKings and see what that's all about. I actually like this for some reason. What do you do? So you're playing any San Antonio guys on DraftKings, you're saying?
DeRozan.
Yeah.
Stack the game up every which way.
What's his price over here? Is he still small forward eligible? Yeah, he's only small forward eligible.
I know. It also forms the rest of your build, which I'm not crazy about. Yeah, if you play him, it's leading me to a build that has me with Giannis instead of Luka or Embiid.
Yeah.
And this guy who I don't want to play, coming from his home city where he was only at for one night, played 37 minutes last night, and then he's gonna it's Mikal Bridges, but
We got 9 minutes, huh?
So it's basically I'm deciding between like PJ Washington and really, am I going to do that?
DeRozan, and then Bridges. Chris Paul.
Tell you who's a good play now on FanDuel is your boy Keldon Johnson.
Yeah, he's always been.
Yeah, he was, and now he's even better.
And then 74, Marcus Smart. Austin Bridges.
I just ignore San Antonio stuff.
You can do that.
Just weird because I've got 3 other players from that game in my lineup from the Detroit side.
What games start right on the number?
Boston, Orlando, Milwaukee.
Yeah. Well, I got to deal with that then.
Okay. I think I've got my mind made up here. Boy, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Derek White. Devin Booker. Any other good centers here? Junior.
They're not even starting. Wow, you're right. It's going to be a perfect troll game for what's his name.
Yeah.
That perfectly for him.
I'm just tweaking these FanDuels here.
Tell you what, I'll bet you Tobias Harris. Here's my bet of the day. Tobias Harris gets 50 fantasy points. I don't like Drew today. I didn't play Drew today, but it's fine. Like it's really just a matter of finding the value in the picks the way they work in your lineups for you.
Well, I don't like the FanDuel. Like they give you these weird errors.
I don't like
an unexpected error has occurred. They don't say what it is. I mean,
all right, I think we're good. Sheets, I got to get out of here.
Oh, okay. I'm unfortunate. So you guys could watch me struggle with this if you want. I mean, it doesn't matter to me.
Watch him struggle and make the right decisions.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
I'm playing Najee Marshall in my main lineup. So what do you know?
Well, I have him in my main lineup too on FanDuel.
Oh, really? Yeah.
In this lineup, I don't want to change anything, and I have 1,500 left on the table.
That's exactly what kept happening to me too.
Well, good.
All right. Good luck to everybody tonight. Thanks a lot, Big Ticket. Appreciate you guys being here. I'll see you guys soon. Sorry for my technical issues. Cheats, have good luck.
Yeah, thanks. I'm going to change a couple more things. Again, I'm all over this freaking Booker thing for some reason. So let's do this. Let's do one with Smart instead of Kemba. So we'll do Smart instead of Kemba, and then let's see if we can pay up for a little bit more for point guard. I don't know if it even lets me. Yeah, now I can put Chris Paul up here instead. Okay, so again, these are big spend ups. So instead of Booker, right? So now we'll go down to DeRozan, and this looks good. Paul, Smart. Oh, this is where I wanted to play Tatum, right? All right, so let's see what happens if I put Tatum in over here. Got plenty. I have 2,400 to spend. I like that. I like that. I like that. Derek White, I like. So this is the issues. I run into these small forward decisions. I don't really want to spend anymore. But let's. You know what? We could play Sadiq Bey. That's possible. Because we have that with DeRozan and Stewart. It makes sense. Now it's 1,400 left on the table. I still like him. So let's get off of the Chris Paul idea. Put Terry Rozier in that spot. And then we can go back to, we can almost go back to Booker, right? Oh, we can go almost exactly to Booker. All right, so before I change my mind, that's what's going to happen on FanDuel. Now, with respect to DraftKings, I have 5 minutes to go, just so you guys know, and I have 23 lineups that all need to be kind of tweaked. So I'm probably going to use SaberSim to help me with this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, which is my most recent projections. Then we're going to upload them into the SaberSim model, and then we only have 4 minutes, which is a little annoying, but we got plenty of time, I think, to do this right. The suspense is terrible though. So what we're going to do is we're going to build 20 lineups with this, and then we're going to do some real world whatchamacallit, real life what's the word I'm looking for? Common sense changes. Where is it? Oh no, where's my downloads? Okay, so we're going to download this. Very good. I'm going to start this over here. No, I already have my... Oh, this is really brutal. I thought I uploaded all this. Okay, this is going to be a tough one. I don't want this. I don't want even my builds. I just want to upload my stuff first. Okay, so we're going to upload. Right. Now we can build, right? Yeah, I know these guys are out. Build these. We're going to go 20. Got 3 minutes, so we have all day. This all looks good. But what we'd like to do is we would like to get, I don't want to play Cameron Johnson. Don't want to play Dario Saric. And the rest look good. Don't want to play Tobias Harris. Looks good. Booker looks good. Derek White looks good. I don't want to play Rudy Gay. And we should be in good shape. So we're going to download these here. Got 2 minutes. The suspense is terrible. We're going to copy over here. You're going to paste over here. Boom. Then we're going to do 3 more here. Here. Save. Oh, plenty of time, I think. Let's see. Upload. Let's go one time. Hope I did it right. All right, looks good. Let's see what I got. I have, oh, very good. A lot of Josh Jackson, little of this, little of that. Whew, that was definitely a sweat. So let's see what we got, guys. Any last questions before I get out of here? Do I like Drew today? No, I don't. Enjoy the game for Bobby. Very, very good. Good luck all. Looks good on paper. Giants still hit or miss. Jason, sorry I wasn't in there yapping around with you. Had a lot going on. But good luck, guys. Let's get it done. Hopefully I win at hockey again tonight. That was fun last night. I hope those of you that were sweating that. I got second in the big hockey tournament with one lineup. That was definitely a lot of fun. So I figured I would push my luck with that today. Root for Tampa in hockey, by the way, if you guys want to. All right, that's it. Talk to you.